What's up, YouTube? Are y'all as bored as I am? Because that's pretty bored right now. Sitting here getting rained on in South Cotabato, Mindanao. Just did cool everything off, but still when it comes to rain, buddy, there's no in between. It's like, I don't know, it's crazy. This island life is crazy anyway. So anyway, I just want to come on here and talk to you a little bit today about LDRs, long distance relationship in the Philippines, because I had a very, very bad experience with one. I met her online. I think it's OkCupid. We met. We swapped information and we started talking and went on for, I'd say, probably 9 months before I made the move out here, before I came to make sure, she's real, make sure, she's got a wonderful family, good Christian family. I love them dearly. They was very kind to me, very welcoming, But then once I made it here, now take it, she didn't ask me for anything, and that's usually the number one sign. Everybody, all these vloggers will tell you, number one sign if they're asking you for, whatever their excuse is. From medical bills to, mama sick, whatever, then that's a big negative. But she never asked me for anything for the 9 months. So, I really thought that, that was, that she wasn't going to be like the rest. And then once I got out here, it only took me about 2 weeks before I realized that, I was just going to be a bank. It was gimme, and I was really blown away. I couldn't believe that this girl that I had been talking to for 9 months hadn't asked me for anything. But as soon as I showed up, it was all about how much money do you actually have, how much can you spend. So needless to say, I stayed with them long enough to get me transportation, and I moved. I got away, and she tried to come and, we tried to, but every time she come and see me, it was just $2K, $3K here, just, wanting this, wanting that. And then I found out that this entire time, even when I was in America, that she had a boyfriend in General Santos, and still does to this day. And so, I guess it was a blessing in a way, before anything, but then you start hearing all these stories about how she was talking to these other girls and saying, oh, he's going to build me a house, and then he's going to buy me a car, and then I'm going to kick him out, and it's like, what? And they swear by it. They said, yeah, that's exactly that was her intention. So, being a foreigner, just be on the safe side. Don't send no money. Don't, and then if you do get here and it's all about your money, get away from her. It ain't worth it. Really, it's just not even worth your time, unless you're just, that desperate for companionship that you are willing to pay whatever it takes. And me, I'm not. I wasn't raised like that. I wouldn't do it anyway, But like I said, I loved her family, still do. I actually talked to her Tito, which is her uncle. I talked to him yesterday. So still on real good terms with them, and it's just a shame, like, you invest all this time and this effort and getting your heart right and your mind right, and you're thinking, oh man, this is it, maybe this is it. She's very beautiful, very beautiful, but there again, it's if you've been around the block a time or two, especially in America, we got gold diggers left and right in America. It's really sad, I say gold diggers, but it's more about, how much, what do you make, and what do you have, and it's got more about materialistic things. And not all women. I'm not putting all the women, because there's definitely not all the women, but I think that's why so many men are looking at Southeast Asia, because they're so family oriented over here. Like it's all about the family. It's everything, every aspect. A lot of kids. Matter of fact, her uncle and her aunt, her Tita and Tito, are still living at home with their parents in their 30s, in their one's late 30s, and still living at home with their parents. And apparently that's, and that's the different cultures that you have out here, and that's not all of them, a lot get out, get married, have their own, but they said it's real common for, kids to, and sometimes even when they get married, they'll still live with their parents, so, I don't know, I've learned so much by coming here, about the culture, and it's a beautiful culture, don't get me wrong. There's so many good people here. I'm sure there's some bad ones too, that's everywhere you go, but man, it's amazing. And then the Christian I did not realize the population was, I didn't know really if it was Muslim, if it was Christian or what, but Christian and Muslims actually coincide very well together here, and that's the way we ought to all be able to live in peace with, no matter what the choice of who they care to serve. But it's just it's really nice to just see people, and they're so nice too. They're actually, my next door neighbor here, she's half Muslim. Her father's Muslim, I think her mom's Ilocano. But yeah, so I just wanted to get on here and kind of give you a heads up about these LDRs, because you just never really know what you're getting into, and it's funny that when I got here, I instantly started praying for God to reveal her true intentions, and it didn't take long. It didn't 2 weeks, and I was gone. So it was just something. Her lying, cheating, with this boy up in General Santos. And then not just that, but like her lying to her family, telling her family, oh, they're just friends. And, and they're not just friends. Like she's got she's got her own Facebook page, that's got pictures of them on it, which I'm sure her family knows nothing about. But, it's just a shame that guys like me or just anybody, like it could happen to anybody, because if they're not asking you for anything over the interweb, or over the video chats of every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day you video chat, but just being with the time difference, so in America it changed a lot the last 6 years. I mean, them using everything from the microwave weapons to the directed energy weapons, and using it on people like it's just another, like there'll be no repercussion, because they want to be the almighty. But I'm telling you, man, their ego is what's going to be their downfall. And when you think that you're above the actual almighty, he's got ways of knocking you back down. So, I just kind of wanted to touch on that too, because that's really what happened, over here, that set this leg on fire, that then the necrotizing fasciitis set in, and it looked like my leg looked like a hot dog. If you've ever burned a hot dog on the grill, it's kind of what it swells up and busts and turns all black. That's exactly what it looked like. And I hadn't been out on my motorcycle. It wasn't like it was wind burn or it was anything like that. I was literally sitting here under the shade, and then me and my neighbor up the road, we went to the mall that same day, but it ain't dampened my spirit. I'm going back to America. I'm not scared I ain't scared of this military. I ain't scared of nothing. You know what I mean? Not American military or any other military for that matter. It's like fear is something that the devil put in you, and I've just never really, that's not really me. So, they can hit you with everything that they got, but still, at the end of the day, that's the blood's on their hands, not mine. You know what I mean? It's their sin, not mine. So, but my leg's healing slowly but surely. Hang on. Well, I was going to try to swap it around and show you, but anyway, it's healing. It's just taking a very, very long time. So hopefully within another, 3 to 6 weeks, all my open wounds will be closed, and then I'll be able to, travel again and do some things. Right now, it's just kind of taking it easy. Definitely letting it just heal, so I don't get a chance of any more infections, God willing, or microwave weapons for that matter, But I'm definitely making a trip back to Tennessee. I got some business I've got to handle there, so I'm definitely going to be going back as soon as my leg heals. Maybe 3 to 6 weeks, whatever. I mean, and get that squared away, get some other things around the house squared away, and then I will be heading back to the Philippines, after I visit my family. I want to see my kids, hopefully my grandbabies, and see all that. But I mean, if you're tired of America and it's fear mongering and it's it's what it's turned into, don't stay. I mean, that's the worst mistake you could ever make, is stay there and be miserable, because that's kind of where I was at. I was there, but I was freaking miserable, getting hit with this crap. Started getting me severe headaches, and these people are narcissistic. They don't care about your feelings or your health. So you have to take it into your own hands and do what's best for you. So what I thought was best for me was to get 10,000 miles away from America. Then for them to, hit me here, it just goes to show you what kind of cowards, that we have in the Space Force. They little office, they got their little office in that Colorado Springs, in that cave, in that mountain right there, and they just want to, I guess pick and choose who they was, want to blast. But it will come back to them. There's no doubt in my mind. You can go to targetedjustice.com, look at some of the photos, read about the lawsuit, the $2 billion lawsuit that the CIA, the FBI, Space Force, NSA, all the big players there in the government has been named. So it's definitely real. And you know, I pray that justice will prevail one day, that all these that have done this will be held accountable. And if not on this earth, I know when they will be held accountable. So, you know, it may take a little while, but I hate to be rambling on, kind of jumping from LDR, but I had to warn you guys, because it's really been weighing on my mind. You know, should I post this video? Should I? You know, because of course I'm still here and her family's up there, but I ain't mentioned any names, but if anybody sees this, then they're going to know exactly who it was. They're going to know exactly what she's done, if they don't already, you know, and it's just sad. So to any of you foreign guys out there, you know, just be aware, you know, that even if you get here, of course, like taking the family out to dinner, you're going to be the one to pay, you know. But, you know, like I'd offered her to go to the beach. Well, the next thing I know, she's running in there telling the whole family that I'm taking the whole family to the beach. And I was like, no, I didn't ask the whole family to go to the beach. And so you just got to be really, really, you know, and don't be scared to put your foot down. You know, that's what I did. I was like, no, I never said anything. I said, I'll take you to the beach. We can go together as a couple, but, you know, come find out when she's got a Filipino boyfriend already, you know, probably spending my money, taking him out, or even her friends or whatever. And it doesn't matter, because now she's the one that blew the good thing. It wasn't me, you know. So if you're going to be a foreigner coming out here, just, you know, don't get us wrong. These women out here, some of them, you know, they're in it for the game. But then you got some, like the one I've got now, like she's all about the heart. Like she's very, very good, very loving, very caring, just so blessed to have met her. And she stuck right there with me the entire time, the 2 months I was in the hospital. So she stayed right there with me. You know, it means a lot. You know, it means a lot. So we've had a couple little hiccups, but nothing, you know, so it's, you got you good with the bad, but just be careful, guys, when you're coming out here. Just always keep that in mind, even if they don't ask for nothing while you're in America, or Canada or Australia or wherever you're from. If you do get here to meet her family and stuff, you know, if it's, I need, you know, can you fill up my gas tank? I don't have gas money, or this and that. Even the family will get in on some of it. So just be, you know, have your awareness up, you know, that, okay, well, how was they buying gas before I got here? You know, how was they buying fish and rice before I got here? Like, I know they was eating, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's okay to do it, you know, to help them out. But, you know, still you don't want to be to the point where you're being taken advantage of. And that's kind of where I was at. I felt like I knew I was being taken advantage of. And so I was like, well, I got to make a decision. So I literally came about, I guess I'm 2 hours away now in this little town down here in the valley. It's actually the capital of South Cotabato. So it's a nice town. Everybody's so friendly. I love it. Reminds me a lot of Tennessee, or the South, Kentucky, Georgia. You know, we just got a different demeanor than the people, let's say, Indiana and up, you know, so from my experience. So anyway, y'all have a wonderful evening. God bless you. Stay safe.